System preferences is where we fine-tune the OS to serve us. But half of system preferences needs the admin password, and I'm not quite ready to give that to you. So under the Apple menu, if you click on that and come down to system preferences, up will pop this little dialog box. Okay? It doesn't get bigger. This is the size it is. Now you can change some of these, like your desktop picture. And I went ahead, whoops, back over here. I went ahead and changed my desktop picture, but here are the Apple ones you can choose from. What I don't want you doing is going out and taking something off Google, okay? I don't want somebody else's art on here. You can use Apple's pictures to start with, but then you are going to make your own desktop pictures. And the first one's going to be kind of painful, and you're going to want to get better so you can replace that darn thing. No, 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 you cannot use anybody else's art on your desktop. Got it? Okay, so for right now, if you want to change it, you can change it. Later on, we'll talk about making your own and what size to make them and how to produce art that works with the correct aspect ratio and image size. Okay, enough of that. The dock, there's more settings here. If you want to play with that, feel free, go ahead. Don't worry about this. Spotlight, really important. In Spotlight, go to keyboard shortcuts right here and turn these two off, because Command Space and Option Command Space we use in Photoshop and Illustrator to get the magnifying glass and to zoom around and do things on the fly. Apple were buttheads for taking those Adobe shortcuts here. That's just ridiculous. So these are turned on by default. Turn them off. You got it? I want those off. If you hold down Command and Space bar and Spotlight pops up, if this happens when you're in Illustrator or Photoshop, I am going to be disappointed, because I don't want that to happen. Okay? And you're not going to want it to happen at that point either, because it's going to impair your workflow. Okay? Keyboard. Back here on the keyboard, you can show the keyboard in emoji viewers. That's sitting right here. This is good for finding weird characters on the keyboard. Under shortcuts, there's also Spotlight here. Make sure this is turned off here. It should be off by default, but it's kind of a secondary way to do it. Come back here. The mouse, by default, the speed of this is over here somewhere. And geez, you got to move the mouse 100 miles. I like my mouse up here. You season this to your taste, but I like to be able to get anywhere I want with a little flick of my wrist and make it happen quickly. Don't change the scrolling direction from natural. I know it's the opposite way that mice have worked forever, but mice have worked the wrong way forever. Think about how you use your phone. If you want to go down on this page, you scroll, your finger moves forward, okay? You move towards the top. That is exactly how natural direction works. It works just like your phone. Get used to it. You have to break your mindset of thinking that the mouse is different than your phone. Okay, for sound, put the volume in the menu bar so you can see this thing up here. You can tell if it's on or not. You can tell how high it is. You can move it right here. You can also adjust the volume with your keyboard and see it's happening down here. Okay, and then input volume, you want to make sure your balance output right there, that your balance is in the middle. Okay, got that? Sound effects, when you goof up, you can go ahead and change that if you want. Last thing, there's some other stuff here, but the last thing I want to talk about is accessibility. If you have issues and you need to zoom in to see things, well, here's the way to do it. And I just use scroll and the control key. I find that works really well. I hold down control, scroll forward to zoom in, scroll backwards to zoom out. Okay, that works for me. You can use the keyboard shortcuts. You can do it however it works for you. But just know you got to zoom back out. If you're zoomed in and you're trying to do stuff, then all kinds of weird stuff happens and you don't want to have to deal with that. Okay, there's other stuff you can look through here. Please don't make your computer start talking. Please don't do things that are obnoxious, and don't sabotage yourself. Don't turn the screen into grayscale. Don't do things like that. And I put accessibility up in the menu bar when I was making a video that was just too long a minute ago, and that's good enough. The last thing, oh yeah, one more thing, last thing, date and time, right here. date and time, come down. Out here, you can't change anything. You need the password. But over here where it says clock, keep it on digital, show the date and time in the menu, display the time with seconds. And the reason for that is because this is a way to tell, is the computer frozen? Well, if the second hand is frozen, then it's there. So keep that on. Don't do these two. Show AM, PM, show the day of the week, show the date. So you see it's Wednesday, August 15th. You got the time, and you know it's PM. This is really helpful for knowing what to do. Don't announce the time on the hour. You got that? Okay. All right. So that's enough for system preferences. We'll come back to this after I give you the admin password, and there's some more sophisticated changes we can make and dial in the computer to suit your needs. But for right now, I really, really, really want the time set like that, because when I'm coming up to your computer, I want to be able to reference that. Okay? Okay? Thank you.